Hi, welcome to Martin and Zach at the Movies, episode 2. I'm Martin.
I'm Zach.
And that pauses a lot better.
Yeah.
He's getting better. He's getting
You
better.
let me say my name this time.
So, episode 2. You saw the first episode, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Our beginning reviews of 2012. Now this is episode 2. We're going to continue on 2012, and at the very end, we're going to hit the 5 movies that almost made the top 10 list, but not quite good enough to, break that ceiling.
Those are still good movies.
They're still good movies. And hopefully you watched our wish list episode we put up of the movies we still want to see this year.
Because it's funny.
It is. It is. It's funny. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's all funny. So we're going to jump right into this, are we?
Yeah.
So movie number 1, showing right up there.
Is Dreed.
Dreed 3D. Well, that's what it's called.
We didn't see it in 3D.
We didn't. No. Oh, yeah, by the way. Sun drop.
Wow. Anyway, we didn't see it in 3D because Martin had an issue because he didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on 3D.
I really didn't want to spend that money on 3D, and I wasn't sure.
For a movie that didn't look like it was good 3D?
No, it didn't really look like it was good 3D. But it actually, watching the 2D version...
It would have been cool.
It would have been cool. It would have been a cool movie to see in 3D. Probably not the best movie.
Not like exciting.
No.
But it would have been cool to see.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool.
Okay, so
Zach, go on your end.
Yeah, if you have seen Dreed, you will understand. If you have seen previews for it, it's exactly like the previews. Okay, you're watching the previews, you're going, man, they're making their way up this building. Whole entire movie, that's what it is. Climbing up a building. That's it.
Except like the first 15 minutes and the last, 5 minutes. But okay.
That doesn't count. Whatever, shut up. Anyway, so they're going all the way up this building, like 2 hours. It's a 2-hour movie.
It's an hour and a half.
Okay, whatever. It's an hour and a half movie. Going up a building. The entire plot is them going up a building. That's it. Like, in the original, there was more than that. There was, like, speeder bike chases, and Stallone being awesome.
There was Rob Schneider.
It was great. And, like, not this movie was bad.
No, it was actually a fairly decent movie.
It was good for them climbing up a building.
Yeah, once you got over they're climbing up a building, it wasn't a bad movie. I liked it. Carl Urban did a great Judge Dredd. He stayed loyal to the base character.
I think like him and Stallone, like good as Dredd.
They were good.
The only difference between him and Stallone is that Stallone has just that air about him, and he's just gonna knock you in the face.
And Stallone had to keep the helmet off almost the entire movie. This is probably the only comic book movie we saw this year that we didn't make the top 10. We're nerds, so that's gonna happen. But no, I liked Dredd. It was an interesting movie. I might buy it when it comes out, but I really check it out. It's a good time.
It is.
And once you get over, they're climbing up a giant.
Building. That's it.
To get a drug dealer, they're climbing up a giant building. You get a drug dealer. It's pretty good.
A long way to go just for a drug dealer.
It does. It seems like they just could have.
Like I think most cops now would just like get to like the 30th story and just be like, dude, I'm done. Whatever. They can sit up there.
Oh yeah, and by the way, if you're wondering why I keep touching my nose, I have a head cold, and so
it's not because he likes picking his nose.
No, I'm not picking my nose. I'm just rubbing it because it hurts. So I'm not picking my nose. For those of you who think I am, I'm not. It's just rubbing. Now get over it and let's focus on reviewing movies.
Wow.
Big hands.
Okay. So
that's Dredd.
So Dredd.
Next up, we've got Looper. Now, let me tell you, this movie, Bruce Willis is amazing. I'm going to start with that. Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt did really good. The movie, how to put it? The movie loses pacing in the last half hour.
So
biggest problem with this movie.
Like I said in the other video, you can't upstage Bruce Willis.
No.
Except if you're Ed Norton, and that only happens once.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't upstage Bruce Willis. You can, however, outact Bruce Willis when he is only in the movie for 20 to 25 minutes.
It's true. If you look at this poster, this is the general theatrical poster. Bruce Willis named first.
It's a cool poster.
It is. It's a cool looking poster. Bruce Willis named first. Shows up half hour into this movie and has
his own little section
10 scenes
for like 10 minutes, has his own section of it's just him and he explains and all this stuff, and it's really actually the part where
they're in the diner is hilarious.
It is. It's really funny. That with hands down the funniest part of this movie. But he has his own thing for like 15 minutes. And then it goes back to Joseph Gordon-Levitt and all that and all that. And then he has another scene for like 10 minutes. And then he has like the last half hour. And then he has like the last half hour.
I mean, and once again, it's not a bad movie. I like the concept. I like it's a great concept. It's one of those movies where you just feel like, man, we got a great concept. Man, now we got to end it.
Like, I've only been bored by second half of movies like a handful of times.
Yeah, and this was one of them. This was one like, man, I'm really interested in this movie, and then it just kind of peters off, and nothing happens for a while.
It even like looked cool in the trailers.
Yeah,
like when we were watching it, we were like, man, this is gonna be great. It has Bruce Willis, it has Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This concept is awesome. These trailers are great. And we went and watched it. We're like, oh, this is awesome. And then, like, that last half hour, we were like, okay, so movie should have ended.
Yeah.
Half hour ago.
Like, it really should have. But it's not a bad movie. Go check it out. It's, in the budgets right now. So,
yeah.
Definitely go give it a view.
Most people like it. I liked it.
I liked
thought
it.
It was a little boring.
It wasn't great. It wasn't top 10 material. But, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to own it or not. But, it was good. Ted. Okay, so this movie should have been in We Saw Because We Were Boring category. It kind of got jostled around, and it ended up here, which, when you see the next movie we're going to talk about, because we're entering a category next.
You're going to be really confused.
You're going to be really confused by Ted win here. So I went on a rant in episode 1 about 21 Jump Street being a very vulgar movie and not that funny. Ted, also a very vulgar movie.
It rode that line.
It rode the line of vulgarity. 21 Jump Street went over the line into, this is just dumb. Ted rode that line, but actually had jokes that had nothing to do with it being vulgar, that had nothing to do with, that part of it. Where 21 Jump Street, it was just vulgar, the entire movie. And almost all of their comedy stemmed from that. Yeah. Ted had real comedy. It was a funny movie. If you like Family Guy, you're going to love this movie.
That's true.
It is. Mark Wahlberg, great job. Mila Kunis.
Marky Mark.
Ryan Reynolds, movie of the year. It's the only movie he did this year.
Yeah, it's the only one he did this year, and he didn't even have a lot. I think he didn't even talk.
No, he didn't talk.
He didn't talk,
but he's in it.
It was his only role this year, and he didn't talk.
Yep. Patrick Warburton is in it. Great job. The dude from The Soup. Not The Soup.
No.
Can't
think of his name, though.
I can't either. It is The Soup. It is The Soup and
Community.
Oh, yeah, it's The Soup and Community. He's in it, and this is a great actor. I like his stuff. I just can't think of his name right now. But he's in it. He does a great job. It's a funny movie once you get past the vulgarity in it.
I like Marky Mark in this movie.
He does a good job. And it's actually kind of a touching story about a guy and his teddy bear.
Because Martin wants to have a friendship with his teddy bear. That's why Zach, he loves this movie.
Zach, you're my teddy bear.
That's creepy.
That is creepy. But yeah, Ted, I mean, if you got to put a star rating on it, not that we do star ratings here, but if we got to put a star rating on it.
Star ratings.
We could. I give it a solid, 3.5.
Yeah.
It's average.
I go 3.
I don't know what we're doing this out of, but it's average. It's not.
It's out of 5. It's
not horrible. Well, that would be above average then. It's not horrible, but it's not great.
3 is average.
Yeah, I said 3.5.
I said 3.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, that's Ted. Check it out.
At least for Marky Mark.
Yeah, if you like Marky Mark, if you like Mark Wahlberg movies, you'll like Ted. Ted is definitely a Mark Wahlberg kind of movie.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving right along. Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Once again, we didn't see this in 3D.
No.
We saw this at a drive-in, and we actually went to go see the second half of this double feature, which is lower on this list. That one made it into the top 5 that didn't make the top 10.
Yeah.
I was saying that's kind of
the
stuff.
top.
The bottom top.
The bottom top.
But it was a double feature, so we saw Madagascar 3.
If you like, he hasn't seen the other 2.
No, I haven't actually seen the other 2 Madagascar.
If you like Madagascar, and if your children like Madagascar, which they should, I don't know why they wouldn't, but
it's a good
if they like Madagascar and you like Madagascar, you will like this one. I feel personally as if you can only beat a dead horse so many times.
Yeah.
The original was really good. The second one was okay, and this one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It was they're trying to get home again.
So the one thing that bothered me about this movie, primarily, is
they're in a circus.
No, that had nothing to do with it. Is that the trailers showed one scene of them in the circus, and the rest of the trailer is the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the trailer showed, with the first 15 minutes of the movie and like one shot of them getting into the circus car. Whereas it's an hour and a half movie and it's an hour and 15 minutes of them being part of the circus.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being misled by the trailers.
I like trailers. I think more trailers should be like that.
Misleading?
Yes, misleading. Most trailers are misleading.
Well, a lot of trailers are misleading.
Looper trailer was misleading.
Looper trailer was misleading. But, I mean, we're now in our family film animated category. Remember, we didn't put these in the top 10 because we have to watch the wish list episode to know this. We didn't put these into the top 10 because they're just hard to rate alongside
It's hard to
movies.
get live action movies and family movies and stuff like that.
And to do your separate top 10 for the family movies, you almost have to see them all. And we've got 4 of them. And Madagascar.
And that was too much.
And Madagascar is the bottom of this list for us. I have to admit, it's the bottom. It was good. If you got kids,
we've seen better ones.
We've seen better ones. If you got kids, go see it. Go rent it. Go buy it. They'll love it. They'll love it, and you might enjoy it too. But that's Madagascar.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you going to say something?
No.
All right, that's Madagascar. ParaNorman. All right, so in episode 1, we said we were going to go see a movie that night. This is the movie we went and saw.
Yeah.
And we were bored. This was out of boredom. Screw it. We're gonna go see ParaNorman.
So I went into this. Obviously, it's not a kids movie, but it looked like a kids movie. It looked like an adult, like a kids movie that wanted to be an adult movie. When you first look at the trailer, and so I was thinking it was gonna be like a kids movie. I was like, okay, whatever. We'll go watch a kids movie. It got super dark.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching this, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool, this is awesome, this is a good movie. Wait, what? I would never take my child to go see this.
Once again, we saw it in 2D. It was a budget film. I would love to have seen it in 3D. It probably would look great in 3D.
We said that, like, halfway through.
We did.
Like, man, this would be great in 3D.
It did. It would have looked good in 3D. It's got John Goodman in it. We like John Goodman.
I knew John Goodman was in it the moment he spoke. Oh, man.
We like John Goodman. You'll pretty much see every movie John Goodman has done this year.
Everyone.
In one of our reviews. Now everyone, now that we've seen ParaNorman. But yeah, it's got a good voice cast. They're strong. They're not really a famous voice cast.
No.
But it's a strong voice cast. It's a good plot. It's hilariously funny.
Yeah.
Like
it's a really good movie. Like for looking like a kids movie, it's actually a really good movie.
But yeah, and that's just it. I'm sorry, there's noises going on. ADD. Yeah, but no, it was a really good movie. It was surprisingly good. It was really well paced.
It's a good moral message at the end.
Good moral message.
All moral messages are good.
Its plot wasn't entirely contrived. It was kind of an original plot.
Yeah.
On some levels, it was also kind of that basic Halloween plot. You know, Halloween scary movie.
Dead people.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that me and Martin were really sad wasn't in this movie though. They never once. Okay, so it's a movie about this kid who can see like ghosts, right?
But it's okay. He'll only see ghosts for the first 45 minutes. In the second half of this movie, he's not going to see any. But all right, continue.
Anyway, so he can see ghosts, right? So I was expecting there to be the line of "I see dead people."
I was also expecting
in this movie, and like after the halfway point, me and Martin both looked at each other and went, "He hasn't said it yet."
Yeah, I was surprised.
In there.
I was really surprised that I did not hear "I see dead people"
I would have
come out of that little kid's mouth.
Also, the comedy was exactly how we would make a movie.
Oh yeah, it was great comedy.
It was great.
It was really funny.
It was that dumb comedy, like in movies, when you see something and you go, "Man, it would be really funny if this happened because it'd be really dumb," like falling off of a cliff and then their car exploding. It was in there.
Yeah. It was a lot of that stuff. Like, me and Zach have this thing when we see movies. It doesn't matter how entertained we are or anything else. We'll all of a sudden look and go, that car should explode, or that plane should explode, or just random things. And that's what this movie was. This movie had all those random moments.
It was just a bunch of, man, it would be really funny if this happened. Poof, oh, wow, look at that, it happened.
And I liked the reversal of the angry human mob trying to kill the frightened zombies.
Yeah.
It was good. That was a good moment.
ParaNorman,
go see it. Go see that one. That is a go see. Next up, Hotel Transylvania, also a go see.
Yes, you should go see it, even if you don't. I mean, you can bring your kids if you have kids. But if you don't want to, don't.
Don't. It's still good.
Because you will laugh so much more without them there.
We saw it with his girlfriend, another friend, and everyone else in the theater was adults.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. It was funny. We were the only ones laughing, but it was a good time.
We were the only... we were the only ones laughing loudly.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple snickers. Every now and then you'd get, like, a guy in the front who would be like, ha! And then, like, trail off. But
So,
there are genuine funny parts in this movie.
It is. It's actually a well-written movie. I like the concept of the, monster gathering. Like, mummy, wolf. Monster gathering. Shut up. And, I have nothing against Adam Sandler and his friends. Some of their movies I like, some of their movies I don't like. This is one of the ones I like. I was surprised I didn't hear Rob Schneider's voice in this movie.
Yeah. Everybody else was in this movie.
Seriously. Kevin James, Adam Sandler, David Spade.
It was like he went up to Rob Schneider and went, yeah, we can't have you this time around.
Yeah, John Lovitz. All these people who make regular appearances in the Adam Sandler, Happy Madison films. Rob Schneider, the guy who's in all of them, does not do a voice in this movie.
Maybe he finally was like, dude, I don't know.
Maybe he finally decided to go find his own work.
No,
a man doesn't have a career without Adam Sandler.
So the one funny part that made me want to see this movie, spoilers ahead of time. The one part that made me laugh and made me want to see this movie in the first place is because on the trailer, there's a scene in this movie, and it's the last part of this movie, of the Wolfman, and they're all riding in the car. It's Dracula, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, and Sandman's in there, something like that.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. That's what I meant.
And Frankenstein.
And Frankenstein. No, I didn't think. Whatever. Anyway.
All of them who are on the poster
are in the car.
Plus Dracula are in the car.
Okay, so they're driving down the road, and there's this big thing of sheep blocking the way. And so they're like, oh. So the Wolfman gets out, and it doesn't show him eating him, but all you hear is nom 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 nom. And he gets back in the car, and everybody's looking at him. He's like, "What? You eat lamb chops? It's the same thing. Go on." It made me laugh. It is so hilarious.
It is also Frankenstein. The human is introduced as Frankenstein's third cousin, twice removed, to his right arm, who is a pig strangler. And all of a sudden, you just hear Frankenstein go, "My right arm strangled a pig? That's so cool!" It's full of great humor. It's a good family film. You can bring your kids to it. They're not.
It's a good, clean family film.
They're going to be entertained.
They will be.
It was really funny.
You'll be entertained as well.
It was. You will be entertained. Hotel Transylvania, it's definitely a go-see with the kids, without the kids. But go see it. Go check it out. It's also getting into the budgets this weekend.
Yeah.
Or
it'll be there soon.
It'll be there soon.
This weekend.
If not this weekend, it'll be there soon. So go check it out.
Wreck-It Ralph.
The best family film we've seen this year.
It's true. Okay, so if you like old school video games, not that you have to.
No.
But if you like old school video games and have played them, there's good comedy in this movie. There's good comedy
anyway.
There's good comedy throughout this whole movie, but there's just certain things that people who have played, like Nintendo, stuff like that, would understand better.
Yep. Zach, do you want to go turbo?
Okay, so that was the one. Not that we had a problem with it. It was just we were both looking at each other like, what?
Yeah. So one of the terms in the movie that's used throughout is going turbo, and it's about another video game, another character from another video game. But me and Zach are from the Super Street Fighter to the Street Fighter generation of turbo. Where turbo now gets
turbo means faster,
better. More extreme, the turbo button on the controllers. That's what turbo means. So, for like the first 45 minutes before it's explained, every time they say, "Are you going to go turbo?" we both had the same thought of
he's just going to go really fast.
Yeah, he's going to go really fast.
Like, and then I was confused about why that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because everybody was talking about going turbo. You should never go turbo. And I was like, you shouldn't go fast?
Yeah, apparently.
Like, there are racing games in this. Go fast.
Shouldn't go fast. But normally I'm against Sarah Silverman, just in general. She's kind of annoying. She's really good. Her voice,
she played annoying in this. She played annoying in this movie.
Her voice fit perfectly. John C. Reilly was amazing as Ralph. The dude from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name.
It's on the poster. I just really can't. It's little. It's Fix-It Felix Jr. is the character, but it's really little up there and on there where we're looking.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Yeah, it's Jake.
Anyway,
hold up. Jake McBride.
I like his voice. I like his voice.
His voice. It fits very well. It's nice.
And he just has that awkward person voice, like I'm just here to talk.
And I like the fact that it's kind of like So you have Wreck-It Ralph, who's kind of like Donkey Kong, actually. And then you have Fix-It Felix, who's a lot like Mario. But then you actually get real video game characters like M. Bison and...
Sonic.
So that was actually the hilarious part about that Turbo stuff, is that the Street Fighter characters are in there.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that always have the games marked as Turbo. Mm-hmm. So the Street Fighter characters always go Turbo.
Always. They're just bad people.
But yeah. Go see the movie with your kids. They'll love it. Your kids will love it. This is probably one of the best non-Pixar Disney animated movies since Meet the Robinsons.
It's up there.
Yeah, it's one of the best of recent years. So yeah, totally go check it out.
I like it. I'm gonna get it.
I'm getting it.
Great.
I want to see this one again in theaters. We didn't see it in 3D, but I totally paid the 3D price to see it again. At this point,
now that we watched it,
I totally paid the 3D price to see it again. So go check out Wreck-It Ralph. It's a good movie. It is the best animated movie we've seen this year.
Go do it!
I can't think of any other animated movie that would surpass this.
Right now.
He's seen Brave.
I have seen Brave.
So he knows that that one compares.
Go see it! Don't listen to him anymore.
Just go see it. Just pause the YouTube video. Go see Wreck-It Ralph.
Come back and watch the rest of this video. But go see it.
Go see it first.
Yeah.
Go see it first. Now that we're done, get out of there. I don't know why I did that. There's gonna be no real effect there outside of the thing's gonna.
You could rub it out.
Except the thing's gonna disappear.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. What?
Because we're there.
Oh yeah.
We are
there. Sorry.
We're there.
I forgot that it was.
We're there. Yep, we are there. So like we said, the end of this video is going to be the 5 movies that came the closest to making the top 10 without actually doing it. And we're finally there. So, we're there. We're at the last 5 movies of this review. And to start with is the number 5. This is the movie that came the furthest from breaking the top 10 with being close.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. The farthest movie...
Way to confuse people.
I know, right? The farthest movie from breaking into the top 10 is going to be that worst movie.
5 down.
5 down.
From the top 10.
5 down from the top 10. So number 15.
Why didn't you just say that?
I felt like being confusing.
Anyway.
So number 15, Flight. It was really good.
Denzel Washington's best.
It is.
I wouldn't say best. No, he's done better.
It's a fairly epic movie. It's that flight of them crashing is amazing.
Yeah.
It took me for a loop because it took the standard idea of the hero story and kind of just turned it on and flipped it. Kind of like the plane.
That was great. Yeah, kind of like the
plane. It's good. It is rated R. The first words out of my mouth when I saw this movie was, "Is that an out of focus boob?"
Yeah. Like it's kind of like the same concept as Lawless before in the other video. That they just like randomly threw a naked woman in there.
Yeah.
Like the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like
she's naked.
You meet the guy, you see him, he wakes up, and then there's like naked woman.
No, the first shot of the movie is an alarm clock going off and the woman sitting up. You see the woman first before you see Denzel Washington. But yeah, so once you get past that, and some people left the movie, not even at that part. They got to a different part that had no swearing, no nudity, and that's when they got up in there.
They were okay with the nudity. It was the
fact that someone was on a porn set, and there was nothing being shown, nothing being done.
Nothing, and it was like she was saying no. Like she went there
very firmly saying she was going to get drugs, but she's very firmly saying no to doing porn for drugs.
And that's where they walked out. They were okay with the naked woman, but not okay with the woman saying no to a porn star.
Apparently, if you say no to porn, people will walk out.
You are a bad person.
You're a bad person, and that'll make people leave a movie.
Allegedly
bad person. But Flight, great movie. Go check it out. It's held strong in the top 5 since it premiered.
So. John Goodman.
Another John Goodman movie. Yeah. That's right. John Goodman comes back.
Not that we're a big John Goodman promoter.
He's a good actor.
But we do like John Goodman. But his opening scene in this movie is just like he has a smile on his face and you smile too because it's like you see him and you're like, yeah, buddy.
And Symphony for the Devil is playing and it's this great scene. Time. It's this great introduction to a character, and he's got a really great character in this movie. Yes, Don Cheadle is amazing in this film.
Don Cheadle.
Like seriously, it was a good movie.
Oh man, it was great.
I was expecting a good movie, and it was way better than I was expecting it to be.
I thought it was gonna be like it looked boring. It looked exciting,
and then
like you wanted to see it, and then it looked like this is a movie that's gonna be boring at the end. But it knocked out that whole flight, like, first half of the movie. Like, that flight was over. Like, he had already landed or crashed. kind of crashed it. In like the first half hour-ish of this movie.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie was them explaining this court case thing that he had to go through.
And it was actually really interesting.
It was really interesting, but I was like, they're going to spend a whole movie on this guy crashing a plane?
Yeah, Flight, check it out. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Like,
don't watch that one with your kids.
Yeah, don't. That was not for the family.
That one is not the family. That's the one that you buy after your kids go to sleep.
Yep. All right, number four, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. This is one of those movies we liked, but did really bad at the box office.
First of all, I have to point out, look at that poster.
That is a BA poster.
Like, that just makes you want to go see this movie.
That is. It's based on a book. We have a friend who, if they were sitting here, would be complaining.
Would have gone on a rant.
It's nothing like the book. If you're expecting a movie solely based on a book, don't. If you're expecting a movie based on a general outline of a book, it's a good movie.
First of all, the guy who wrote the book
wrote the screenplay.
Therefore, you have no complaints because he made this movie after he wrote the book.
Yeah, this is his idea.
So this is what he wanted to convey.
It's true.
But, as a movie, I'm a firm supporter that most movies who go off of books aren't going to do very good anyway. If you can move past the fact that there was a book, most of them are fairly decent movies.
Yeah.
Like this one was awesome. If you could put aside that you had never read the book.
Yeah. This
was an awesome movie.
It was a good movie. It told the story of Abraham Lincoln with vampires. It was
fairly accurate.
It was a good movie. I mean, we want to see Lincoln. It's going to be way more accurate without vampires. But there
aren't vampires.
There aren't vampires in Lincoln. This version of Lincoln has vampires in it. It's a good
Apparently
movie.
there were two Lincolns.
One that hunted vampires and one that didn't. They were both presidents. Shut up.
They interchanged.
But yeah, go see it. It's a good movie. It's amusing.
You'll like it.
You'll like it. It's produced by Tim Burton, so if you like Tim Burton...
this is on your list.
It should be on your list
already.
It
has a Tim Burton-esque feel to it anyway.
It really does. All right, number
Dark
3.
and gothic.
Moving on to number 3.
Okay, we're moving on.
Halfway point. Men in Black 3. Woo! This is the movie we saw with Madagascar and that double feature at the drive-in.
It's funny they were both 3. Anyway, go ahead.
I liked it. It's been 10 years since the last Men in Black movie came out, and I thought Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Josh Brolin, they knocked this one out of the park.
I think, again, like I said before, I'm not one for, sequels and stuff after that. Because I personally always think that the original is the best. Because it's fresh, it has all the original ideas in it. The second one I really liked. This one kind of lived up to that second. It wasn't as good as the second one, but it was right up there. Plus, I like that they circled back around to the first one. They're like, okay, we're just going to throw this. It's been 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. We're going to circle back around to the first one, reference it a little bit. I thought it was nice.
It was. And Josh Brolin does an amazing Tommy Lee Jones.
Amazing. If you didn't know, obviously you know because you're two separate people, but if you didn't know... You would have thought that was a young Tommy Lee Jones. He did it so well.
He did a great job. If you like the Men in Black series, go check it out.
Will Smith is awesome.
Will Smith is awesome in this movie.
Tommy Lee Jones. There's a scene in the movie that I really liked where he eats pie. All he does is sit there and eat pie. In a diner, eating pie. And there's a scene at the end. I think it's the end. It is the end.
It's the end.
When Will Smith comes back, because he goes into the past, when he comes back, he walks into the diner. He sits there and he's talking with him for a little bit, and then they both sit down and eat pie. It's just really funny.
And there's a great character who can see all...
It's like you just went and saw and had this adventure with me, and we're just going to chill out here and eat pie.
There's also a character who can... see all probabilities, and that's actually a pretty amusing concept. I like that concept of someone who can see all probabilities. It would be horrible.
Oh man, that would suck.
It would be horrible.
You're gonna die now.
It's like. But yeah, Men in Black 3. Go check it out. It's coming out soonish.
Yeah.
But go take a look at it.
It's out on DVD.
No, it's not. December.
Oh.
Comes out in December or later in November. It's coming out. So rent it when it comes out. Number 2. Argo. Kind of jumped the gun on that one, but Argo.
Ben Affleck
and John Goodman again.
And John Goodman.
This is the third John Goodman movie.
Ben Affleck. If you are a Ben Affleck fan, which, they are out there.
They are out there.
They are out there.
Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantom.
Ben Affleck.
I feel that needed to be said.
It's true.
We like him.
Anyway, Ben Affleck did great in this movie. he like.
Oh yeah.
He's really good in this movie.
They're all good. Like
it's weird. It's a weird movie though because
it is.
It looks like they just took footage from like way back and just like put it back because that's the camera style which is shot. Is that it's supposed to look like it was back in the day?
It's a good movie.
I like this concept.
It is. It's a great concept.
Like we're gonna sneak out people by making a film,
and it's a true story.
It's a true story. That's what I thought was cool. That they actually did it.
Yeah, they actually did that. Yeah, Affleck, Cranston, Arkin, Goodman, all really good in this movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies at the end you're still sitting on your edge of your seat, even though you know historically, had any of these people actually been shot, there would have been a war, and there was no war.
There was, in case you were thinking that there was a war, there was no war.
There was no war.
No war
because of this incident. But you're still kind of sitting there watching it get out, incident. And it's a good movie. It keeps its pacing. And you just keep going, man, I want to keep watching this. It's not a... You actually suspend your disbelief. You don't keep watching.
You don't get bored.
No, I never got bored watching this movie.
Like, I didn't get bored for very long.
No.
I have a short attention span as it is, but
I didn't get... We pretty much joke about every movie we see, so we made some jokes. But for the most part...
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It was a really interesting movie. Definitely go check this one out.
I'd say go see... Although, the funny part about this movie is... So, we went and saw this movie... Almost a packed theater.
Old people.
Full of old people. So I walked in. We saw all these old people. I was like, man, they just came and saw this because they were probably around when this happened.
Probably.
It's not a documentary.
No, it's not.
Like, Ben Affleck is still... Ben Affleck was not there.
No.
I wouldn't have sent Ben Affleck in to save people.
Neither would I. Yeah, Argo. Go see it. It's good. It's also been a very firm... spot holder in the top 5 movies since its release. I
don't think it's moved.
No, it's moved. But it stayed in the top 5.
Yeah.
It's good. Go see it. Let me tell you, when you see our top 10, you're going to be surprised at number 10. But before we get there...
When you see our top 10, you're going to be like, dude, these people are idiots.
Oh, yeah. Before we get to that, we got the...
If you haven't
number
already.
11. This is the number 1 of this list. Number 11 overall.
The one under...
The one 10. Right under. The one that
barely made it.
Barely missed out. And it was only barely.
Yeah.
It was only by a small margin.
Had we not seen one of the movies that were in the top 10,
this would have been in the top 10. And that is Here Comes the Boom. The most overall surprising movie. Because it's Kevin James, and there's just this expectation with Kevin James.
People didn't like it.
It did.
I don't understand why people didn't like it as much.
But it is. It's a good movie.
It's not an exploding movie.
It's not an exploding movie. It's not a vulgar movie. This is a movie you can watch with your family, and it's good moral values.
It is good moral values.
It's funny.
Plus, it's Kevin James getting the crap kicked out of him.
And it's funny.
For young children.
It is. It's funny. It's entertaining. And it was just a really good movie. It was... I'm buying it when it comes out. There's no... All 5 of these movies we just covered in this, not quite the top 10, I'm buying.
Yeah.
If don't already own. But yeah, it was an amazing movie. It's funny and...
It didn't take the Rocky ending.
No, it did not take the Rocky ending, which I was expecting it to. Kevin James is great in it.
I like Kevin James. I don't think I've seen a Kevin James movie that I didn't like.
True. Who else is in it? Selma Hayek is good in it.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler is hilarious.
The Fonz.
But yeah, seriously, go catch this one. It's also hitting into the budget soon.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. It should have performed way
better
than it
got
should.
So much more credit.
Yeah,
like so many people were like, "Oh, that's such a boring movie." I was like, "What? This is great." Because people hate moral values.
It's true, and let me tell you, it should have done better than it did. It didn't.
Anyway, see it. Go see it.
Go see it. It's a good movie. All right, so that wraps up This Is Everything We've Seen in 2012 that isn't either horrible or our top 10 favorite.
Yeah.
So our next video, episode 3,
we'll be the first half of the top 10.
We'll be the first half. It'll be numbers 10 through 6 plus the number 2 worst movie we saw of the year.
Oh, and they're bad.
They're bad. They're bad movies.
They're bad.
They're bad.
If you have seen these movies, I am so sorry.
We are. And here's a little contest for you viewers at home.
If you can guess our top 10.
If you can guess all 10, don't need to be in order.
Don't need to be in order.
Get the 10 movies.
If you can guess the top 10 movies that we have, we'll send you something.
Yeah, we'll send you something.
What it is, but we will send you something.
And we're probably going to want to hang out and watch a movie with you, too.
Because that's just weird.
That's just weird.
You think like us, that's weird. Nobody should ever do that.
But yeah, so that's next is number 10 through 6.
Yep.
There are great movies in there. There are surprising movies in there that we really didn't expect to make it in there. And there's going to be good...
One for sure.
And just because these are movies we like does not mean there won't be ranting and raving about what we really think of them.
Oh, there will be ranting.
There will be ranting.
There will be raving.
There will be raving. So, please join us next time when we post episode 3. For episode 2, however...
Yeah, episode 2.
Episode 2. I'm Martin.
I am Zach.
And we'll see you at the movies.